What we have right here is around 35 companies. So depends on how the diversification plan will be. After all, you are buying the company of the world's most successful investor. Please do know that Warren Buffett has over 100 billion US dollars in net worth, and it shows you the credibility that he puts in every time they would purchase, every time they would hold, and every time they would analyze a stock as well. Hey guys, so when I started out investing over a decade ago, financial literacy and the abundance of courses, content, books right now about investing in the stock market was not like what it was over a decade ago. And one of the biggest influences that I had when it came to investing was Warren Buffett. He was one of my idols. I studied his backstory, how he started, and that's why I was so inspired to invest at a very young age. I started investing in my early 20s. I think he was 10 or 11 years old at such a young age, and then how he grew his portfolio into something that was massively big to become one of the richest people in the world, not by starting businesses or operating businesses, but just buying good stocks and holding on to them for a very long time. One of his popular sayings is, our favorite holding time is forever. He would always say also that price is what you pay for, value is what you get, and that stuck to me. Before me being a trader, I focused more also as an investor. Then I developed trading a few years after me being an investor as well. When I started, I could only use his principles on how I would pick, how would I filter out my stocks, because my exposure over a decade ago was purely in the Philippine stock market, and I could only superimpose what I got, what I learned from him from Philippine stocks. But now what's interesting, and as you all know, I've been making videos about investing in the US stock market for $1 US, and then you can do that via GoTrade. We can now have access and actually buy Warren Buffett's stocks as well, or have exposure to what Warren Buffett is doing. If you don't want the hustle and bustle of how do you filter out which stocks are you supposed to buy, you can just actually copy what Warren Buffett is doing. There are actually two ways for you to be able to copy and buy or have exposure to what Warren Buffett's buying. The first one is buying Warren Buffett's stock. So in GoTrade, they have Berkshire B, BRK.B, that's actually listed and sold there. So that's one instant access that you can actually do. Instead of nitpicking what he looks for, what he buys, just buy his company, and then you get exposure to Warren Buffett's company or Warren Buffett's stock. What's interesting about that, it says here that it's $290 US. Please do remember that when you are buying stocks via GoTrade, you can buy it via fractional shares. You do not have to put in the $290 US as a way for you to be able to buy the whole lot, but you can buy for $1 US only. But I challenge you, don't just stick to just $1. Start with 100, start with 50, build a base, try to increase it over time. After all, you are buying the company of the world's most successful investor. Please do know that Warren Buffett has over 100 billion US dollars in net worth, and it shows you the credibility that he puts in every time they would purchase, every time they would hold, and every time they would analyze a stock as well. One of the biggest companies that he owns, that he has been holding on to for a very long time, is Coca-Cola. I like his analogy about it. Coca-Cola has been existing for generations upon generations, decades upon decades, but people have not stopped buying Coke as well. And the dividends, if you've watched my dividend videos about Coca-Cola, the dividend that Coke has been giving throughout the years have been very amazing. So the first way for you to have exposure and trade and invest like Warren Buffett is just by buying his company. In GoTrade, they have certain filters that will allow you also to narrow down your stock selection. Please do note that GoTrade has hundreds of stocks listed, and what's very interesting about that is they created a Warren Buffett type of filter. Just go to your GoTrade app and then try to go and look for Warren Buffett, and it gives you a brief background also on Warren Buffett, and it talks about a lot of the things that I said earlier, that he has over 100 billion US dollars in net worth, and they own 60 plus companies already. 60 plus companies that are meticulously analyzed already by his entire team as well. So please do note that Warren Buffett is a value investor, that part of his analysis, part and parcel of what he buys are companies that are undervalued, but not just that, companies that have a durable competitive advantage. So if you're the type of person that's an investor, that's passive, that wants to buy something that's built to last, then it might be very, very interesting for you just to buy what Warren Buffett's buying. So these are Berkshire Hathaway's holdings as of March 31, 2021. So you have Apple, Bank of America, American Express, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, Moody's, Verizon, US Bancorp, DaVita, Charter Communications, BNNY Mellon, General Motors, VeriSign, AbbVie, Chevron, Visa, Kroger, Bristol Myers Squibb, Amazon, MasterCard, Snowflake, Merck, Aon, Marsh & McLennan, T-Mobile, SiriusXM, Biogen, Johnson & Johnson, one of my other favorite companies as well, Procter & Gamble. I love that too, large brand, large company. Cadbury, matutuwa wife ko dito, Wells Fargo, Vanguard, S&P 500 ETF, SPY, which is another version of the S&P 500 via Spider, then UPS. What we have right here is around 35 companies, so depends on how the diversification plan will be. Either you buy Berkshire as a company, or you just buy any of these 35 stocks as well. So maybe 10 or 20 of this, because as you can see right here, it's well diversified also in different industries. And what's interesting about Warren Buffett is he has also learned somehow, some way to be adaptive to the times. Years ago, no, he would not buy tech companies, but the fact that he has Amazon right here shows you already how adaptive he is also to the times. And from what I've researched, no, they're also building exposure to a digital bank that has exposure into Bitcoin, but that for another video. Anyways, I want to show you also that it's simple. If you have not watched any of my Go Trade videos where I use Go Trade as a platform to buy US stocks, you could just click Amazon right here, and then you can actually buy them for $1. So click buy, then just click $1, preview buy, then swipe up, then you are done. I'll give you an example of buying more than $1. I showed the $1 option for those who are just starting, want to actually try it out. But so interesting about that is you can actually even buy more. So buy in terms of what you're comfortable of, buy in terms of what makes sense for you. So using the Go Trade app, same thing. I'll press trade, press buy, I'll put $100 right here. Right after that, it's just loading, and then just after a few seconds, then you are done. So it's as simple as that. One of Warren Buffett's favorite quotes also is this: risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. I know I've given you a lot of examples here, but do your own due diligence. Don't just buy any stock just because it's discussed here. It's your money, it's your responsibility. Please take the time to be able to analyze this well. Please don't just buy it because you hear it off YouTube or your friend would actually say it. It's your money, it's your responsibility. No one will take care of your money more than you. So please take the time to do a deep dive. Please take the time to study. If you have a financial advisor, talk to your financial advisor. Make sure it's aligned to the risks that you're willing to take. Make sure it's aligned to your financial plan as well. That's why I love Warren Buffett, because of his conviction that he's entering something even though if the stock price would drop, but he's coming in full conviction because it's something that he has analyzed and he has took the time to actually invest. If you're new and you have not actually started to invest in the US markets yet, what's interesting is you can use Go Trade. Go Trade allows you to buy US stocks for a minimum of $1 only. But don't just stop there. When you understand it, scale, invest more, and keep on adding. How can they actually allow you to buy just $1 even if the price of that particular stock is above $1? It's what you call fractional shares. Similar to what you have in other US stock brokers, it gives you the ability to buy a portion of that particular share. So if you have $1, you get $1 worth of that particular stock. So if you get, for example, you have a stock that's $200, you have $100, you get 0.5, a fraction of that particular share, but it gives you ownership. These are not CFDs, these are fractional shares. You are really a part owner, you get ownership, and you are entitled also to a dividend. So if you want to try it and you want to invest in US markets, just go to the Apple App Store or Google Play and download Go Trade. You need to input the token code right here that's flashing in your screen, because Go Trade is invite only. So please remember that the only way that you get to come in, skip the wait list, is by using the token code as well. I've had a lot of questions on how fast the application is being processed. It's only 15 minutes. Please make sure though that you are using the proper IDs so you get to actually get approved and be verified at a much faster pace as well. Please do remember not to use the UMID because it's not an accepted ID. I hope that this was something that's helpful for you, that now we can invest not just by using Warren Buffett's principles, that we can invest not just by following what he's actually doing, but we can actually have exposure by buying his companies as well. So please do let me know, are you interested in Warren Buffett's style of investing? Are you interested in the companies that he's buying? Among the companies that I placed on the list, what's your favorite company? And if you stayed up until the end, comment below, let me know if this is something that's helping you as well, because at the end of the day, we're gonna keep on doing videos like this. We're gonna make more and more videos to educate you on how you can trade the US markets, that it's not as expensive as what everyone else thinks it is, that you can do it, it can be done, it's something that you can do online, and as long as you have your phone, this is your most powerful tool on how you can have exposure to US markets and how you can make your money work hard for you. I hope that this is something that you enjoyed, and I hope that this is something that helped you. This is Marvin Germo. I hope that this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.